Hi YouTube, I'm creating this video in response to some guy who made a video as a rant about how Mac is superior in every single way to Windows. Yes, that's right. I'm taking the time to respond to a fanboy. You say that Windows is designed by idiots, the same idiots that helped Apple years ago to design Mac OS 1 to 3, I believe it was. Well, surely this makes the Mac designers bigger idiots for needing the help of idiots themselves. These idiots also had to bail Apple out, I think it was Boston 1992. This was when I was 1, so I've researched this. They had to lend them some money so they could stay afloat. I mean, Apple wouldn't be here. Which, when I used a Mac back last year, I just didn't find it easy to use. I used Photoshop and I find Photoshop easier to use on the Windows operating system. I am not the common idiot. As you say, all Windows users are. I just like to sit down at my PC and do what I want to do easily. I don't want to be stuck with my nose in a manual reading how to do what you want me to do on a Mac. Other things you say, you describe all Windows users as blind zealots. Yet you later ironically go on to say that Mac OS X was created by gods. Yeah, you blind zealot. So I'm just using Windows and saying it's better, which I'm not. I use Linux. I think Linux is personally the best because of the fan base and community. I can get help on anything I need. But yet you call me a blind zealot because I'm a Windows user. You then go on to say that you have a good grasp of every operating system on the planet, and say that you would not be impressed until I administrated on Linux or Unix. I've been a Linux user for about 2 years, and I've administrated on a Unix server. I'm 16 years old. If I'm 16, think about what some people double my age who are Windows users have done. Probably a lot more than you. You go on to say that we're busy trying to get past the blue screen of death, which I don't get unless I do something I shouldn't be doing with my hardware or such like. You and others like you are creating multi-million-dollar visual effects and videos. I'm sorry, but after watching your videos on YouTube, they're you sitting down in front of a camera. I doubt you've made a multi-million-dollar movie. Sorry. Other flaws to your argument. You say that Mac OS X was designed by gods, and the video later shows Steve Jobs holding up an Apple iPod. The iPod is not a Mac. Yes, it runs Aqua, I believe, but it is not a Mac. Mac runs OS X, iPod runs an OS shell that was built specifically for the iPod. As far as I'm concerned, the OS battle has been a one-horse race for a long, long time. I mean, it was decided years ago when Windows snapped up all the third-party developers. I mean, who develops for the Mac or Linux?
Next up, got some great news about games. First, Electronic Arts, the #1 publisher of games in the world, is coming back to the Mac in a really big way. And it's my pleasure to invite up Bing Gordon, one of the co-founders and the Chief Creative Officer of Electronic Arts. Hey, Bing. How you doing?
Nice to be here.
All yours.
Thank you, Steve. I have 2 teenage daughters. They live on MacBook. I have friends in the music business, in the movie business, in the photography business, in the graphic design business. They live on OS X. Our CTO at Electronic Arts lives on Mac, and we're seeing EA technologists move to Mac in droves. And what do they all want? What do they keep asking for, in addition to a cinema display? They want to go into an Apple store and they want to see all the latest EA games simultaneous released with all the other platforms. And so I'm here today to announce we are going to rectify the situation. Starting in July, we're going to bring 4 of our biggest titles to run under OS X. And they are Command & Conquer 3, the continuation of the 15-year battle against Nod and Kane, Battlefield 2142. The game of the year goes into a science fiction future where you can play against your friends and meet new people. Need for Speed Carbon. This is a car game with a mountain and valley racing with carbon bodies that don't handle damage very well. That's a hint. And finally in July, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. Harry Potter is Electronic Arts' best wizard, and as you know, he needs a wand, unlike Steve Jobs, who just used his imagination.